This week on Inside MMA, WEC lightweight champ Jamie Varner joins Kenny and Boss on the panel. Undefeated UFC heavyweight Todd Duffee talks about his upcoming fight with Paul Buentello. And the fight professor, Stephen Quadros, talks Strikeforce.
Has it changed that much with referees and with judges? I mean, there's always going to be controversy. Anybody that loses a fight probably didn't, you know what I'm saying. But has it gotten better? Is it really good right now?
Well, what we have here is a case of supply and demand. We've got so much supply of content that we have, a lot of shows, but we don't have enough referees and officials to fill those shows, so they're starting to grab their friends and people that don't come from MMA, and you're starting to get some decisions that people have suspect to. You're starting to get calls like that one. That call, by the way, the Joe Warren thing reminds me of two different fights. One was Royler Gracie against Sakuraba, which the referee stopped the fight. In this particular case, I called this a referee stoppage with Joe Warren because Joe Warren said he didn't tap, and the referee said he did. It was also similar to Royce Gracie versus Yoshida the first time, where they couldn't see the choke, and they ruled it, you know, well, he's got him in a choke. It was sort of a referee thing. Some gray area there. Joe Warren will be back. But the officiating in MMA, we've got to get better officials, but it's just, we don't have enough right now. We don't have enough, you know, John McCarthy's or Herb Dean's out there to go around.
Stephen, you're around Strikeforce. You know, we know the buzz because we're doing a show called Inside MMA. We step outside MMA. Is Fedor a kind of guy that, first off, there's a language barrier. So, you know, how's he going to be to market and to get the, you know, get the guy in Topeka to flip in or Peoria and watch Strikeforce when he fights?
Well, Boss hit on it with the Rocky thing. I mean, Rocky 3 had a guy with a mohawk facing the champion. Of course, we got that in real life with Brett Rogers against Emelianenko. Emelianenko's got that soft-spoken thing. I think that they've got to capitalize on the fact that he's an everyman. A lot of people do relate to him as the everyman, but he is the best in the world. He's the best fighter I've ever seen in the game. He's got the combination of striking and world-class combat sambo. Most of his wins by armbar. A lot of people think he's just a ground-and-pound guy until they actually look at the stats. I think they've got to do like a 24/7 or do something like the UFC actually did a thing with Lyoto Machida recently where they showed him on a beach throwing reverse punches, and then it was a real quick clip of maybe 15 seconds, which established him and has had some interviews. I think they should do the same thing in promoting Emelianenko to show his inner thing, because he's a very religious guy. He's very old school with his training, with the hammers against the tires and everything like that. They've got to really put that in the public's face a little bit, especially on those NFL shows.
Yeah. And you guys had some thoughts on Junie. I'll just toss it up, and whoever goes first goes.
Okay, I've always been a big fan of the smack talkers on The Ultimate Fighter. I think Chris Lieben is one of the reasons why The Ultimate Fighter became a success. Junie Browning followed it in his shoes, but Junie Browning took it a little too far, and outside the thing, you can't go around smacking around people that aren't fighters, that you're not in the cage. They didn't consent to anything. They're trying to help him, so what he did is inexcusable, whether he was on drugs or whether he was straight. He's got to really think about this, because the next time he's going to get locked up.